there, I'm Square, and let's talk about anime. So this winter season has been a strong one for anime, with the continuation of popular series such as Re:Zero, Attack on Titan, Promised Neverland, just to name a few. The competition is insane. And I don't know about everyone else, but it's hard to commit to a brand new series that could very well be a complete waste of time when there's such shiny other continuations of series from some of our favorite anime sitting right there begging to be watched. So with our limited precious time, I want to make a video recommending a series to you that you might not have otherwise watched. And now that we're about midway through the 2021 winter season, I feel like we have a pretty good feel of what a series may entail. So which one is worth sticking with? Well, if you read the title of this video, you'd know my suggestion is So I'm a Spider? So what? Or just Kumo Desu for short. Not only have these first 7 episodes kept my attention, but I'd say they have me completely hooked. This series is fun. Honestly, just fun to watch. I find myself smiling throughout most of the episodes, and I end up in even more of a bouncy good mood after watching them than I usually am. Especially with that ED, and I know it's not for everyone, but I love the ED. It's insane. If you haven't seen it, at least look that up. So, with all that rambling, what is Kumo Desu anyway? Well, simply put, it's an isekai. Isekai! But before you scoff and switch off this video and run away, hear me out a little bit. All of us anime fans know that isekai is a genre that's pretty tired at this point and oversaturated. So a series has to be pretty darn special for it to stand out and be worth a watch. And I really do think Kumo Desu is that series. Let me just give you a brief breakdown. We start out with our unnamed protagonist waking up in a cave, having no idea how she got there, and she's also now a spider. Then, this unnamed protag, who many fans have lovingly dubbed Kumoko, freaks out. Understandable. Her life is immediately in danger. There are thousands of other spiders being born all around her, and it seems like not any of those have that human brain that was brought over from the real world. So these spiders begin to tear each other apart and cannibalize each other, thus leaving newborn Kumoko to fight her way out, survive, escape the peril somehow, just to live. And now that we're up to episode 7, the situation hasn't changed much from there. Kumoko is stuck in the middle of a very high-powered dungeon. And for those of us who've played any type of fantasy game before, we know that spiders, especially the small ones, tend to be low-level fodder for adventurers. Which is kind of a ripoff. Aren't protagonists who are isekai'd off to another world supposed to be special? Amazing powers, harems of potential suitors throwing themselves at their feet? Kumoko not only lampshades this trope, but uses her apparent knowledge of anime and video games to literally metagame her new life as a spider. And this is the anime we're watching. A nerd stuck in a video game-like world trying to best the system to min-max her character. It's like we're watching a Let's Play from a veteran gamer playing on ultra-hard mode and completely cheesing the game. And it's hilarious. Kumoko's kind of like a streamer, narrating her choices to no apparent audience and using her knowledge of other game worlds to pick the best skills and techniques to improve her character. A character which just so happens to be herself, and if she doesn't do this well enough, she'll literally die. So this takes her a little bit higher than your average Twitch streamer, just a little. But the narrating doesn't really come across as forced. It makes sense from a nerdy seeming character who's probably watched Let's Plays and streams before. And also we have to consider that she's literally all alone with no one else to interact with. Most of us would probably resort to talking to ourselves just to stave off the loneliness and keep our sanity a little bit. Now, a character literally all alone for 7 episodes where time is passing, it seems like time has gone by, would be a huge detriment in most series. Most characters in any medium need someone to play off of. A character needs a straight man to their comedian, a love interest for the love hungry, a friend for the lonely. But nope, Kumoko only has herself, and occasionally a mysterious voice that tells her when she's leveled up or earned a new skill. Luckily, Kumoko is charismatic. We have literally spent 7 episodes of her talking to herself while she learns to use her skills, builds shelters, find food, battle other monsters, and ultimately fight for her life. And this is probably my favorite anime of the year so far. And I would be a happy little Squarebear if that's all there was to the series. But the series has even more going in its favor, and that comes in the form of mystery. Now, as I said before, we literally start off this series being thrown into a dangerous situation and following a protag we don't know anything about. And even this many episodes in, we still don't know much about her. It seems like she was in high school before she got isekai'd, and it also appears like she was a bit of a loner without many friends. We also know she has a vast knowledge of video games and anime because she pulls on that knowledge during her character creation and choosing skills and the like. But other than that, we don't really know anything about her. We literally don't even know her name. And as far as the world goes, we don't know much about that either. It does appear to be a game-like world with levels, stats, abilities, but is it a game? Is it an alternative universe? Is someone running it? Is there a purpose to all this? No idea. We get little hints here and there though, just enough to whet our palates and make us hungry for more. This is something I've talked about in some of my other reviews. I really do believe one way to have a successful series is to have a healthy amount of mystery that is purposefully staggered with hints and reveals to keep the audience interested. So I'm a Spider So What is mastering this so far. We get a little more understanding, which leads to even more mystery, and I find myself completely hooked. But one big aspect I have yet to mention is the rest of Kumoko's class. Yes, it seems like her entire high school class was transported to this strange world as well, seeming to be reborn mostly as humans who are currently navigating the politics of high society and the tribulations of going to a boarding school that teaches them fighting skills and magic, but also puts them in mortal peril from time to time. This causes a lot of problems where some students have increased standing, like more so than they did in the real world, and some have much lower. The drama and conflict that results from this have reached breaking points that have put lives in danger. And with all this going on, the class is still trying to reunite. They're trying to find all the other students who are somewhere in this world. And we're slowly starting to discover that not everyone has survived so far. And at the same time, their teacher has also been transported to this new world. But it seems like she knows a little more than she's letting on, which again leads to even more mystery and a growing unease among the classmates. Now this alone sounds like a pretty intense story. So why did I take so long to talk about the other classmates in my review? Well, that's because they are the least interesting part of the series. This is how good the spider stuff is. Even though the rest of the classmate stuff is interesting and we're getting more and more revealed and new intrigue by following the other students, I just want to get back to Kumoko. Just give me more Kumoko. She's amazing. Okay, so on a little bit more of a serious note, one issue with jumping into the series is the fact that it is based off a light novel, so there are spoilers everywhere. If you Google this, go to Reddit, wherever, anywhere in the community, you're gonna get some stuff spoiled. So if you want to go in as blind as possible, like I prefer to do as well, try not to look into it too much. I mean, even just looking at art's gonna reveal some stuff for you. Now, one complaint I have seen and heard from people is the art direction through the use of CG. Now, CG is used throughout the series for some of the backgrounds and some of the monsters in the dungeons, and even on Spider Kumoko herself. And I do admit the CG is weak in some parts, especially on some of the lesser monsters and if there's a lot of them on screen at once. And I could see how this can bug people. Personally, it doesn't bother me that much. All of the really important characters look great, and the writing and comedy and action are all so strong, I can ignore some clunky graphics. But again, I can understand why this could be a deal breaker for some. Overall, Soma Spider So What is completely worth your time. If any of this sounded interesting to you, you should be watching it. Episode 8 comes out this week, and we have a double season, so there's 24 episodes in total. So right now is a great time to jump in and check it out. It's currently streaming on Crunchyroll, so it's super easy to catch up on and jump right into. So please support series like this that are new and good so we get more good series. Okay, whew, breathe. The passion. So I'm a big fan. I don't know if you can tell, but I do want to thank you for watching my video today. I'm going to wrap things up by saying if you liked any of this here, subscribe to me. I do videos like this. I'm doing even more on different anime. You can check out my channel. There's all kinds of stuff on there. I doodle, I ramble, I have a silly fun time. And if you could leave a like, comment, any of that would help with algorithm, the crazy algorithm of YouTube that's a little hard to understand, but interactions are good. So thanks again for joining me today. I would love if you would join me again sometime. And please have an artsy day.